So far, we have talked about the physical differences between herbivores and carnivores. And we talked from all the way from your mouth all the way to your anus, how the difference in the different anatomical structure has resulted in the difference of food diet and food habits. Now, let us go more into a spiritual aspect of this. In spiritual aspect, let us talk about how the selection of food happens between a carnivore and a herbivore. When a herbivore looks at the food, it looks at the most blooming, most green, like most like vibrant kind of food. So it will look at a plant or it will look at a leaf which is very green. It will not choose something that is dry in nature. So it will try to get something that is big in nature. While a carnivore is always into natural selection. So natural selection is such that if you have a herd of say cows or deer, then it will choose the least and the weakest one who is not able to run fast or it's fragile. So the choice of food will be smaller compared to this. But as we think that we are meat eaters and we go to a market, when we choose those meat products, then we always choose the most bigger ones, which is actually a mentality of a herbivore and not a carnivore. We are looking at the most biggest piece of meat that is there. We are not expanding enough energy to get that, so we think that whatever we grab is the best, should be the best. So we choose the most fleshy ones, which is actually a mentality of a herbivore choosing food. Apart from this, as I mentioned, like how a carnivore is going after the food. So the carnivore has this ability to run after the food. It will expand huge amount of energy. It will actually damage a lot of its muscle and have a strenuous activity to grab its food. So the instinct of a carnivore is also a killer instinct, which is like, it wants to grab something, you have to kill it and then consume it, and then it will rest for almost 1 or 2 weeks till after eating the food till it gets for the next hunting cycle. While in herbivore, it is more like a continuous eating process because it is more into eating a stationary, stagnant food. So, which is on the tree or something, it is not expanding that kind of energy. It is not killing its own cells. It is more of a very relaxed thing, regular use of energy and re-establishment of energy. So the food it requires, or the food is required for it to do certain kind of work like traveling, etc. So those animals which are designed to work more on a mental level or more on a energy based level rather than more of a muscular physical level, these animals are supposed to eat vegetarian food, and the animals which have this killer instinct which has to kill in order to survive, in order to consume food, then their instinct will naturally go towards meat eating, and hence they require protein intake of those animals to boost the repair system of their body and to survive. So this is another classic difference. Another very important thing that we missed is that if you look at a cow and if you look at a cat, there is a difference. There is a very clear difference on how they consume the food, all their senses involved in consuming the food. So, when you eat a vegetarian diet, even if it is not cooked, let us take an example of fruits or say some vegetables like carrots, cabbage. You can just look at it, you feel it's fresh, you don't feel like disgusted from it. You eat it raw, you still like the taste of it, you smell it, you like the smell of it, you eat it, you feel satisfied your hunger. Whereas if you look at the meat, when it is raw, it is not cooked, it smells bad. Whether it is fish or raw meat, it doesn't look good, it looks disgusted because it is not cooked. You are imagining the meat when you're buying is after it is cooked, not when it is raw, because you are not capable to eat that raw meat here. When you actually taste it, you are not able to taste it or you are not able to chew it properly because it is not cooked. So again, your mouth is not ready for that kind of sensation. So this also tells you that you are not supposed to eat meat. You're cooking it, you are forcing that food to be adaptive to your body, but again, it is not the food that you should consume. So hence, Friends, it is very essential you understand what you are eating, what you should eat, what should you should not eat, because whatever you throw in your stomach, the body will try to adjust to it. Body will try to adapt itself. That is what we have been doing through evolution. We are trying to adapt and adapt at the cost of our own health. And you can see our health is getting deteriorated day to day. We are supposed to be growing. We are supposed to get live 120 years, but we are living not even 60 years. It is because we are developing, we are working on eating food that we are not supposed to. You are not using any of your energy to kill an organism because you think that somebody else is doing the job for you. But spiritually, every animal that you consume, somebody else has killed it. The karma of that animal killing is on your head, and you are not using any of your energy to do that. So you are going to damage yourself more, stagnate yourself more with excess amount of that energy that you have never used, but you are just putting in there, putting in there in your body, and it is going to just settle in your whole body. You will look fat, you will look muscular, but that doesn't mean that it is useful for you. It will just make you tired, it will make you lethargic. You will feel you don't have that energy to even do some basic works. You can see a difference in a vegetarian yogi or vegetarian guy and a non-vegetarian person. Their energy levels are very different. I personally have seen people who have very strong meat-based diet. They consume meat throughout the day. They don't even have the energy to walk up and down a hill, while a monk who's completely vegetarian, he hardly consumes much of a food, yet he is able to climb up down the stairs and everything. Again, another misunderstanding most people have is that whatever you eat you will become. You If you eat meat, you will develop muscle, which is again wrong. I have some people who are not eating a slice of meat, not even a piece of meat, but they are very healthy and they are very big. One of the most common example is like people from Kolhapur who used to practice a lot of martial art like kushti. So they have a very good build up because they train to build those muscles, and they're having a diet which is trained to make you strong. Classically, you see a lot of our ancient characters like Hanuman, Bhim, they never used to eat meat, but they were very strong, very powerful. So, meat is not equal to building muscle. It is your workout, it is your efforts, it is your repeated training, it is your diet, how much calories that you consume, how well you are utilizing that energy. That is what actually determines how your body is going to grow. Because I have seen people also eat a lot of meat, but their muscles are very weak. You have seen a lot of people. The food that you consume doesn't mean it will make you fat or it will make you bulky. It is what you train yourself to be. Okay, so this is very important that you understand how to build muscle, how to develop your muscle, and if you require to build the muscle, because you don't need stagnant muscle mass. If you have stagnant muscle mass by repeatedly training a particular muscle, a particular section of your body, then it will only become stagnant. It will not have its fluidity, it will not have this energetically free movements. It will be like as if a rock. While if you do something which is more fluid in nature, yoga or ancient techniques like kushti training or like mukda training or like the danda baithakas, this kind of training that makes your body move while developing the muscle will actually help in long run to develop a proper circulation, better neural connection, make you stronger and fit, and also will make you bulky in overall well-being. And also your diet is going to determine how your state of mind is. If you always consume diet which is very aggressive in nature, because imagine you are a tiger, if you eat like a tiger you will think like a tiger, you'll always have that aggressive nature. Today we have seen in India, which was once upon a time a majority vegetarian country, they have turned, most people have turned because of this protein bodybuilding, gym workout. This has turned into a meat eating country, and you see the aggression in people with very small things. Just like somebody talks to you in louder voice, you go and want to kill him. Why does it happen? This happens because you are trying to consume a diet of a tiger, and you are pretending that you are a tiger but you are not. A tiger kills when it's hungry, when it is absolutely necessary to kill. But that killer instinct you are building in your consciousness, where you are expressing that anger for no reason. You're expressing the anger for selfish needs to satisfy your own ego. So, which is very bad. So, a peaceful person, when he eats vegetarian diet, he will be peaceful. His aggression will be under control. He will not go beyond the ethics of humanity. Of course, anger and frustration is part of life, part of living in a stressful society. But this stress will never be exhibited as outburst of physical anger, physical outburst, because your diet is going to control your mental state. It is going to tell you what is right, what is wrong. Even a bull or a cow is going to go aggressive against a tiger. That doesn't mean it will going to go kill it for selfish pleasures, while a tiger is going to hunt to kill. So that is the difference of the diet that you're consuming. If you want to be in army, if you want to have developed that killer instinct because it is your profession, then yes, you can have a diet based on meat based, which is more an aggressive thing. But if you're working in an office, if you're doing a regular work where your mind has to be settled, you're using a lot of your brain power, then my friends, you need to have vegetarian diet. There is no but, there is no other option to it. You can just think about it. Again, meat is heavy in nature, vegetables are lighter in nature. So, what you consume, you will become. So, if you consume this heavy, thick kind of substance, it is going to circulate in your bloodstream, and your bloodstream is going to get thicker, and that will affect your overall circulation. While no matter how much fat you consume uh, in a vegetarian diet, it is still going to not affect you as much as it is going to be affected in a meat-based diet. So try to understand who you are, what you are supposed to eat. Don't think that okay, thousands of years ago when we were hunting tribe, we used to consume meat and all, but we have evolved to agriculture. No? Even a panda, which was once upon a time a meat eater, now consumes bamboos. So if a panda can turn himself into a vegetarian, why can't you? Why do you have to be aggressive? Why do you need that kind of unnecessary energy, which is waste? Again, let us talk about energy for a while before we close today's topic. Energy is something that is required for doing any kind of activity, whether it is gym workout, whether it is yoga, running, doing household chores, or anything. Energy is the part that is used in your day-to-day life, and that comes from carbohydrate, which comes from plant, which comes from the sunlight. Understood? So, if energy comes primary from the solar energy, if you can be a yogi and absorb the solar energy, that is the best source of energy. You will not even feel hungry. But if you are not able to do that, then the second best way to consume that highest amount of energy is through the plant based diet, which is vegetarian diet. So that has the highest amount of energy. After that, it is eaten by animals. They use that energy, half of it, and then you consume it. You are becoming the fourth consumer of that energy. So all the energy is basically wasted. So what is the point of consuming so much of food if you're not getting even a little from it? So it is just without common sense, just believing some random research or random studies done by people who don't think how nature works is going to affect your health. So you have to think well what you are eating, how you are eating. Like this video, share it to your friends and family who have this misconception about diet, and also do subscribe to our channel and follow all the videos that we are coming up soon, and keep watching. Thank you.